Greetings. I'm so glad you've decided to join the Scan and Deliver service. This video will help you assess when a book is ready for scanning, when it needs to undergo conservation treatment beforehand, and when it should not be scanned at all. You will likely have many questions about how to make this kind of assessment, especially in the beginning. Don't worry. We're fortunate to have our own resident expert on these matters, Ethel Hellman, Collections Conservator at the Harvard College Library. Hi, Ethel.
Hey, Tom. I brought some books.
Oh, wonderful. I guess before we take a look at these, maybe we should talk about the difference between face-up and face-down scanning.
Okay.
Is there a difference?
There is a difference, and I prefer face-up because that enables you to put the book down in a natural way, turn the pages naturally, and see what's happening all the time.
Well, can you show us an example of a book that's perfectly acceptable to scan on both kinds of scanners?
Absolutely. They don't have to be just new books, but they do have to be strong books. Nice strong attachment of the cover to the text block, good paper, and a nice gutter margin.
Excellent. So how about books that are on the borderline? Books that we wouldn't want to scan on a face-down scanner, but that were perfectly acceptable to scan face-up.
Okay. I have some. You'll have things that have a loose cover, but it's still intact, and it can be scanned on a face-up scanner. Carefully. There are also books that might have torn hinges, a little bit more extreme, but still, if they're handled carefully, they can be scanned on the overhead.
Well, that's good to know.
Then you'll have books like this. This is no problem. It's not going to interfere with scanning, but this is.
Oh.
Again, you're going to have to be very careful when you open it and scan it.
How about this one?
This one, it's a new book, but it has plates in it, so sometimes they'll be old, sometimes new. And the plate is loose. On an overhead, though, you can put it in position, scan it, no problem. Something else you might run into are volumes that have loose pages, and you won't know till you start scanning. Again, in an overhead, you can just put this where you want it, scan it, and you've captured it. Just do it carefully. Occasionally, you'll find things that they look pretty crummy. They're soiled, they're worn, but if the attachment is good, there should be no problem. Don't worry about what it looks like on the outside as long as everything is well attached.
All right. I think I'm getting the hang of this. Why don't we try scanning one of these books?
Okay. You know what? You picked one that, in fact, is absolutely unscannable because the pages haven't been cut yet. So these pages are still connected. They definitely have to come to conservation to be cut before you can scan.
So I can't just try to cut them myself?
Please don't. Someone did try to do that, and you can see exactly what happened.
Oh.
Terrible damage. So send them to us, and we'll do them very quickly and get them back to you.
What are some other examples of books that we just should not scan?
Books with torn pages, missing information. Let's see, this one. You won't get what you need. So again, send it to us. We'll get a copy, put it in, send it back to you. No problem. Another example, Tom, would be anything with brittle paper. If you find something that's broken like this, that's cracking, please don't stop, don't scan it, send it to us. It absolutely will destroy the book to continue. And this is a case of fold-outs. You'll get lots of fold-outs, and most of the time it's no problem, but occasionally you'll find one that is torn and separated. So I would say send that down to us first. Don't scan it.
So I guess the important thing to note is that even though we just can't scan it right now, it doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to be able to scan it later after you've conserved it.
Exactly.
That's an important thing to remember.
Yes.
What about this one?
This one? This one. Oh, you've got a good eye. This should never even have come down to you because it is in such bad shape.
Oh my.
That it really needs to be taken care of before anybody handles it.
Wow. So I guess there really are some things we shouldn't be scanning.
Yes.
I guess that's as bad as it gets, though, right?
You know, I can think of two things that are worse.
Really?
Yes. One is unlikely, but a wet book, anything that comes to you that's damp, that you see that it's cockled or damp, should come to us immediately. And the very worst would be a book like this that you open up and find is moldy.
Oh, no.
Mold is dangerous for the books and it's dangerous for people. So that should be closed quietly, put in a plastic bag, and taken to conservation.
Whew. We had a motley crew of books to sort through there, didn't we? After watching us examine each of them, I hope it's clear that scanning is not your #1 priority. Instead, protecting Harvard's collections is. Sometimes you won't be able to scan a book because it needs some TLC first. If you'd like some help setting up your workstation for scanning or using the scanner, then please check out our other videos. Thanks again, Ethel.
You're welcome, Tom.
I hope we don't have to send too many sick books your way.
I hope so, too.